I got it working. Can you see it? Or hold on, let me post it to the group.
Excessive time for it's only excessive hours for the
It's capital R. The password here is capital R. And then OAD is 8866.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess our IT guy had concern about you putting the password all over social media. So if you could refrain from that.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna let people know here.
Yeah, we'll let people know
Okay.
here, but we don't want
I
people
won't.
like parked and that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah, he was worried about the security because of that, so.
that's
but-
fine.
Okay, thank you.
Do you see it online?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Trustees special meeting Wednesday, February the 24th, 2020, 5 o'clock p.m. I'll call this meeting to order. before you entered the building, your temperature was taken. If your temperature would have been over 100.4 or higher, you would not have been permitted in this building. The chairs are set up according to the health department standards. They are marked. Please do not move them from their designated spot. We have hand sanitizer. We appreciate it if you would use it. After this meeting is concluded, please exit the building immediately. Please stand for the invitation.
Mayor Hensington, George, thank you for this day and thank you for the citizens of Etna Township. I pray that you be with us tonight as we make decisions, that you would be with citizens here, that their voices be heard. I pray that you be with those who defend the freedoms that we have in this country, and that their families who miss them while they're in that, in pursuit of that. Amen.
Please join me in the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mr. Ford?
Here.
Mr. Carlisle?
Here. Need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. So moved. Mr. Johnson moves. Is there a second?
Second.
For a second discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yes.
Mr. Carlisle?
Yes. Public comments?
No. You need the microphone up?
Yeah, you would raise it.
Oh, just talk down into it, it'll pick you up.
Sure. Okay. Mark Evans, 91 Old North Church Road. I have a handout here, if I could pass this up to the trustees. Tonight, I call for the investigation and removal of Charles Hagee from all the boards he is serving on as representative. I just handed you a note which was placed on my truck by Mr. Hagee's realtor after one of the last Pulte meetings. It is a very racist note, and I believe it is a threat to stop us from opposing the Pulte rezoning. I finally got a response from the township about who's serving on what boards, and today Mr. Hagee is serving on every judge and judge board. I believe that his conduct is not that becoming of an Etna representative in this matter. I have witnesses that said they viewed the realtor go up to Mr. Hagee, show him the note, he nodded in approval, and then left. The deputy saw the realtor at my truck. I requested the video footage from the township. The township said, I can't have it because terrorism.
No, it's not.
You can plainly see the cameras there. I recorded the meeting. There is no reason to withhold that footage except to protect Mr. Hagee, if it's true what the allegations are. If he approved that racist message, he should not be representative at any board. That, along with, prior to this, I witnessed his truck running over one of our opposition signs, followed it into his car. I didn't know him at the time. I didn't know what he looked like. Afterwards, I found out on the water board website what he is, and it confirmed to me who he is. It's just shouldn't be. And additionally, his refusal to participate in the water board investigation, where there's a current lawsuit by one of the trustees against the water board, is another reason he should have been removed back then. However, I tried to not make this personal, and it still isn't. I'm concerned about my house, my neighborhood, this township. That kind of representative should not be on any board. I asked you guys to look into it before. I haven't heard anything. I hope you guys would have the integrity to look into it. I have video of that sign incident. You guys have video of that. I don't know if you've looked into it or not. The deputy said that it should be preserved. So I'd like you to look into that. Also, I'm asking that you do release that video. If you don't, I am going to file a lawsuit. So to save the township money, this is a point of principle that now we're talking.
You got 30 seconds?
Can I have somebody else's 3 minutes that you've done before?
Sure.
Can I have somebody else's 3 minutes? Wes, thank you. So I'm asking that you release that footage, otherwise I am going to pursue a lawsuit because this is the principal thing. There should be transparency. If you guys aren't going to investigate it, I think everybody should see for themselves. Also, I think I asked before, investigation about the CARES Act bribe. Even the Newark advocate called for that, of the apparent bribe of the school district with CARES Act money by either the board or one trustee. That's just improper. Another thing, Burlington County, not sure what trustees are aware of what went on there, but does anybody know why Pasco's not a member of that anymore? Apparently, from what I've learned, some impropriety by our representative, Mr. Carlisle, in executive session caused an issue, caused the requirement to hire a lawyer. That needs to change. This behavior needs to change, especially when you guys just approved $15,000 to Burlington County to be a representative here. So I would urge you to change representatives at a minimum and investigate it. That is all.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Anyone else? State your name and address for the record, please.
Sharon Heckathorn, 8864 Indian Mountain Road, Pickerington. I don't know what your decision is going to be on these
If
houses.
you're talking about the podium,
Yes.
I mean,
Oh.
we'll not discuss it.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, the public hearing is closed.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir?
Yes. Oh.
Stephen Paul, 76 Nantucket Avenue, Benton, Ohio. This question is directed at Mr. Carlisle. Okay, Mr. Carlisle, is it true that you purchased 5 acres, plus or minus, on York Road in 11/13/2012 for the price of $15,000? You held on to that property, good for you. And on 12/13/2019, you sold that property for $80,000 to Great Lakes Development. Good for you. Good. Wise investment. Isn't it interesting that Great Lakes Development sells the property back to Charles Hayden 1 year and 1 month later for the amount of $40,000, 50% less than what was sold, you sold it for. I'm not a great investment, but doesn't that sound a little bit interesting? Okay, and Great Lakes Development also has another interesting connection with Mr. Hayden in regards to the property on Tollgate Road. Interesting. I'm just curious, as an investment person, why would somebody, as an investment broker, a company that buys into these properties, speculating, buy it from you, Mr. Carlisle, for $80,000 in 1 year, in 1 month, got the dates, sell it back to Mr. Hayden for $40,000. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't sound like a really good business adventure. Perhaps you could address that at a further meeting. Maybe you can discuss it with me here now. I don't know. I'm not a great business, entrepreneur, but it doesn't sound like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paul. Anyone else? Okay. Moving on to old business. The application submitted by Pulte Homes of Ohio on the 155.281 acres located on Cornwall Road, owned by Charles Hayden. At the last meeting we had, I'll just recap a little. What I recall is that the trustees told you that Mr. Hart and Mr. Callahan, that we felt that it was not in the proper place in the township, and the density of the homes was too much. We tabled the decision, or tabled the meeting till this evening. Sent over to the prosecuting attorney all of some of the changes that you had made to make sure that we were proper. They said that it was not a substantial enough change for us to start the process over. So with that feedback, you had asked us to table any decision until we had another meeting. The meeting was not a date certain. We scheduled it for this evening. Would you like to present whatever you've taken from that meeting to the board? Did I hit the topics, Mr. Ford, Mr. Johnson? Okay. Mr. Hart?
Thank you, Mr. Carlisle. Trustees, thanks for the, appreciate the opportunity for the hearing and the chance for us to do some homework. We have a number of items we'd like to present tonight, and the information with me is Matt Callahan from Pulte and AJ Weber from Pulte. We did take the feedback and the points that you just recapped, Mr. Carlisle, the Hart at the last trustees meeting in December. We think we've listened. We've looked at different options and produced a couple items for the trustees to consider. There's a lot of housing demand in the market today. Housing of all types, at all price points, all shapes and sizes, everywhere in Central Ohio and at the township. So this site today has an approved zoning. It has a PRCD overlay. The property owner has development rights. That property owner has the right to develop under the existing zoning. He has the right to ask for a different zoning. There's a legal right to meet the market demand for housing on this property that exists today. The reality of the question before you is how will this site develop? Because it will develop, and we believe soon. First, we spent some time going back and looking at the current zoning classification. The hearing was kind of a gut